Ranuka and my lovely boy, Erik. How are you both doing?
Saying, hi, Mama.
Professor Erik. Right. Professor Erik, and we're going to talk about balancing karma, right? Part 1, I think.
Yeah.
Or is it part 2?
And he's written on the blackboard in huge bold letters, how to balance karma, part 1, because he's saying there'll be series of this topic, because he's saying I have explained lot many times how the soul journey is progressing, what is karma, but yet there is lot of lot of confusion and doubts still of what he's been trying to teach. And he's saying, Mom, my only intention of introducing this topic was for viewers to have more subjective understanding of their own life, of their own relationships, and of the purpose of their life, and also of course understanding more historic concepts like reincarnation and the entire spirit world communication. So he's saying no matter how much I have tried, there's still been doubts and confusion, and it's very understandable because the theory is so huge. And there are so many components and factors to this theory which are so much interrelated, interconnected, and you really need to be patient to understand all the aspects and levels of every factor which is connected.
Right. Sorry about the ears. I mean, they're burying a cable in the backyard. I need to keep her in my lap, otherwise she'll run over there and start yapping, and then the other dogs will start barking. So sorry about that, guys. I tried to get her head to stay down, but she won't do it. She just wants to be in the picture. All right, go ahead, Bella. Lay down. Lay down. Yes, lay down. Good girl.
So he's saying, again, before trying to explain, also I receive a lot of queries where people ask, if you're talking about karma and if it needs to be balanced, and if karma is lesson, how do you balance out lessons, which is an understandable logical question. So he's saying, since I have explained lots about the journey, lots about the purpose of reincarnation, lots about the purpose of life, the way we live it, I will now dig deeper into these theories in a more in depth way so that there is more understanding and there are less doubts and confusions.
Yeah.
He's saying there will always be doubts and confusions because, what we are discussing is life itself. Life is so huge, life is so varied, every soul plan is so subjective. Every experience of every soul has such a deeper intense meaning to it, which is connected to their own respective soul paths, so there will always be questions. He's also telling me right now that in future what he'll try and do is make these lectures more interactive in a way that he'll ask viewers to ask questions after the lecture based on the theme of the lecture in the comments, which will be taken in the subsequent lectures, and they'll be answered.
Oh,
So
good.
that, yeah, he's saying I have seen a lot of interest, Mom, and I'm so happy that these lectures are getting this much response, because it's not only about intellectualizing spiritual concepts or discussing them or wondering about them, channeling information about them. It's also about using this wisdom, using this knowledge to improve the quality of our life, to reach a certain realization which helps us grow as a soul also. He's saying, of course, all of this also will help the viewers improve their relationships and life. So even if they don't believe in this so-called theory of karma and reincarnation, even if they use these principles, if they use this theory, it will still help them live a better quality life. It will still benefit them. And he's saying that's why I will take each topic and delve into it in a much more in-depth way so that there is more understanding, and also in future we'll make it interactive, so that after watching the lectures, for those viewers who are taking these lectures seriously, who really enjoy understanding what he's saying about life and its purpose, he'll definitely be available to answer in a more subjective way. But that's for future. He's saying, let me first explain this concept, and then of course we'll have interactive lectures. I'll keep a tab on the comments and the questions, and we'll find out a way to reply to them, and that will help people understand in a better way, and the interaction is definitely worth it.
That sounds fun. Yeah. Let's go.
And
now for the concept.
Yeah, it's an amazing idea. He's saying, Mom, because I want the blog, I want our website to actually bring about a change.
Yeah.
It's not only about sharing and channeling, it's about bringing about a change where we are working on creating a ripple effect
Yeah.
of this change. So he's saying let's delve into karma, and he's saying I'll repeat it a bit so that there is flow. So he's saying I've always said karma is learning, karma is lesson. It's not sin. There is no punishment involved.
Right.
There is no judgment involved. There is no superior authority sitting up there judging you and your actions. No, I've
No
always
karma
said it.
police.
No karma police. And he's saying I say it as karma because you talk it or you understand about it as karma. Otherwise, it's learning. And I've
Yeah.
always said the purpose of this life is learning, and no life is ever wasted. Even at times when you are not able to follow your soul plan, which happens most of the times for XYZ reasons, you still learn.
Yeah.
And whatever kind of learning it is, you grow. All I'm trying to explain through these lectures is if you learn according to your soul plan, the way you chose your lives will come to you, it will be much more easier. All I'm trying to do is help you enhance the experience that you have here. Because let's accept, who wants pain and suffering when you can just walk through a garden and achieve the purpose? You think that's what I want.
But Eric,
That's what
we talk so much about, well, this helps you grow, grow, grow. What do you mean by spiritual growth?
yeah.
I mean,
He's
it's a
saying
pretty basic concept, but I don't think we've ever really defined it
yeah.
thoroughly.
He's saying, Mom, interesting question. Let's start with that. It's a very interesting question. He's saying, Mom, everything that we do out here, the reason of us taking this body, he's saying, is the soul's growth. It's not about the body, it's not about our experience here. It's about the soul and its original journey. And he's saying, if you go back to our previous lectures, I have explained the journey of the soul, how it gets
Right.
separated from the source, and the entire existence is just realizing that we are the creator himself or itself. And taking reincarnation is just a smaller part of that entire journey of separating from the creator and going through all the experiences and then merging back. And of course, the entire journey is our wish. It goes the way we wish it to go. And every journey is different because every soul will grow at its own pace and it will have its own style of walking this journey. So I think when I say growth, I talk about the growth of the soul in terms of where the soul is in its original journey. And he's
Okay.
saying with every reincarnation, how much ever you learn and experience, there is a growth in the level of consciousness. And he's saying this growth in the level of consciousness is what determines that the soul has taken a step ahead in its original journey in the spirit world towards the creator.
Well, is there any, when you say growth, can you define that or expound on that in terms of physics? Like what happens to the energy that is our soul as we grow?
Yeah.
Or
Yeah, he's
if it
saying, of
does.
course, mom. He's saying, of course, mom. He is smiling and he's smiling with a smug face and he's saying, that's my mom. Because he loves this question. He's saying, Mom, nobody can ask better questions than you. He's so excited because when you ask a question, I can just see his light shining brighter because he's so excited to share.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
just waits for the right questions because so many times, let's accept whatever we ask, he has to reply. There are so many, there's such less chance he gets to talk. And if you let him talk, trust me, he'll go on talking. He'll go on revealing
Oh,
himself.
yeah, I know.
So he's saying, I am so happy. I'm so glad you asked this question, and I would like to elaborate on it. So he's saying the lecture is going somewhere else, but I'm glad to be answering these questions because these questions will also form the base of what we're going to discuss.
True.
So he's just showing me a figure like he showed me when we were discussing the journey of the soul. So that figure is actually he's drawing it on the board, and how he's showing me there's this ocean. He's drawn just a rough ocean, and this ocean is the creator, the universal consciousness. And then he's showing me a drop, which is when the soul gets separated from the ocean, right? And when the drop is traveling, it's gathering as it goes on traveling, it goes on gathering that learning and that experiencing. And that learning and experiencing is what the creator is not, because it is outside of the creator. You think all the aspects of the creator, which the creator is not, the soul has to go through all of it and finally arrive at a place where it understands, oh, this is what the creator is. So he's drawing a drop, and the drop is getting bigger and bigger and bigger. That that diagram is a very pure graphic representation of what he's trying to explain, and I'll do my best to put it into words, because he's also making me feel, and he's also drawn that diagram on the blackboard. That drop, learns and experiences more, understanding it gathers of what the creator is, and as this understanding increases, expands, the consciousness of that drop is expanding. So if it is separated as a drop, it goes on increasing in its level of consciousness, in its level of energy, and there is an expansion of the energy. And this journey goes on, and then he's showing me this journey goes on until that drop has achieved or attained the energy, the imprint of the energy, or the level of consciousness which is matching to the universal consciousness, where the soul realizes it is the creator itself, it is God itself. And he's saying at that point, of course, you have a choice to stay or to merge back with the universal consciousness. At every level, we have a choice, he's saying, but there will come a point where it will be more of a final stage of the journey where you have achieved the level as same as the level of the universal consciousness. You have become God yourself by learning and experiencing everything, and that's when you merge back. That's when you really don't need to exist, but of course it's your choice. You want to reach there, help others reach that same level, or to merge back and stop existing, and merge back where you came from, basically. So he's saying that expansion of energy with more learning and experiencing the aspects outside the creator, that's what the journey is all about. So when we talk about, then he's saying, now let's come to reincarnation, let's come why we are taking the body. So everything that we are learning and experiencing in our body is all the time having a direct effect on our original level of consciousness as a soul. It's feeding the energy of the soul.
Right. Got it.
And I think that's why I keep saying that purpose of reincarnation is just learning and experiencing. That's why I keep saying karma means nothing but learning.
And that includes the balancing of karma, which we'll talk about.
That's separate. Yeah, he's saying that's separate, but I'm going to explain what balancing means. Of course, we have karma. And if you have karma pending in your soul, it only means pending lessons. It means the lessons which this world has to offer, and you have still not learned and experienced them. That's about it.
Right.
But what do we call karma balancing? He's saying, I'm going to define that concept today in this lecture, but I'm glad
spiritual to-do list. I love lists. All right.
Yeah, it's a to-do list. And he's saying, I'm glad you asked that question, Mom, because it gives a proper base to the explanation that he's going to give where karmic balancing is concerned. So he says, no, why do I need to balance karma? If karma is only pending lesson, why do I need to balance this karma? So he's saying, I'll again go back to the point where the soul is taking its first incarnation. And in that incarnation, there is no karma. And I'm saying there is no karma because a soul is fresh, and the soul has all the free will to decide what kind of lessons and what amount of lessons it will learn in that first incarnation. And this he has explained me before because I'm doing workshops on it.
Yeah.
And when I asked him, why do I need to, decide? Why cannot it be random? I can just go and let life happen to me, and whatever lessons and experiences come, and I'll just come back. And my learning and experiencing will definitely have a positive impact on my consciousness, on my energy, and my soul will move a step ahead. So he's saying every reincarnation, the level of consciousness, whatever the level of consciousness the soul has reached after experiencing the basic levels of the spirit world, it takes on the body. And here he's saying, Mom, there's one more concept I need to explain. He's saying your level of consciousness, the energy imprint of your soul should be prepared enough, should have reached a level where it is able to sustain in the human form, whichever human form you choose.
Mm.
Because for a soul to sustain the consciousness, the lighter consciousness of the soul to be able to sustain in the body, to stay in the body, it needs a specific preparation.
Ah.
Why? He's saying because a soul is energy. It's the lighter energy. It belongs to a very higher consciousness, and our body is made up of matter. Matter which is decomposable,
Yeah.
and it is made up of physical matter because we exist in a physical world.
Right.
That's how physical worlds are formed. They are made up of forms. They are made up of physical matter. And for a particular level of energy to you know to sustain in this form, in this physical form, to live in that physical form, and then to operate through that form, it needs a certain level of stability and grounding, because energy is light. And
Yeah.
when this energy hits the physical matter, it should not lose itself completely. If you remember, he had explained spiritual amnesia, where the consciousness hits the body and where the consciousness gets contracted.
Process. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's where we forget, and that's what we call spiritual amnesia, and that's what is needed to have a wholesome experience here in this physical earth. He's
Right.
saying that's the same thing that I'm talking about, mom. Even if you have traveled to a particular level in the spirit world, the first time when the soul is trying to try incarnation, it's very much it's like it's more of a scientific thing, that how much the soul will be able to sustain in the body when it hits it, that lighter energy, where it will reach once it has mixed with the heavier consciousness, with
Right.
heavier physical matter. And he's saying until your soul, until your level of energy, that consciousness is not completely prepared, you will not be able to take on the human form.
Okay.
And that's why sometimes if the soul is eager to reincarnate, to take a physical form, that's why when the souls uh, are eager to take on the form, they choose forms of little bit lower consciousness rather than the human body, like the animals, the
Oh.
birds, the animals. You think because these don't have such heavy consciousness or heavy energy as the physical matter from which the body is made. They have lighter, and the soul is able to sustain in those forms much more easily. So even if your soul is not prepared to take on the form of a human body per se, it can still start its journey of incarnation by taking form of animals and birds which don't have such heavier energy imprint. So he's
Okay.
saying that's the first thing. So first lifetime, he's saying, when I'm planning, I have to plan because this physical matter, it will decompose.
Yeah.
It will not last me, at least not as much as the time I've spent in the spirit world. Because
Right.
why we are taking in the body is to experience the opposite of all the experiences that we have done in the spirit world. And
Right.
spirit world, we have spent eons and eons of time since we separated from the creator. So he's saying, because this human body is decomposable, it has a shelf life, and average human life, at least if we talk about the human body, it's 60 years. So mom, he's saying, mom, in 60 years, I won't be able to learn and experience everything that I need to move forward.
True.
That's why I plan my life, because I have limited time.
Yeah.
And if I have limited time, I need to understand in this limited time, out of such huge agenda, what I will be accomplishing this time around. That's the first thing he's saying. And the other reason he's always told me is, when we come down here to learn and experience, we need other souls, right?
Right.
Every soul coming down here has the same purpose of learning and experiencing. And all of us, we are only helping each other learn and experiencing, in learning and experiencing, by exchanging experiences between ourselves. I'll give you an experience and you will grow through it. You will give me an experience and I'll grow through it. And he's saying that's the uniform purpose everywhere, and that's why there are interactions, that's why there are relationships. We all are helping each other in our journey. We all are walking together, and we all need each other. And that's why oneness is huge in spirit world.
Yeah.
And even in the physical world, we'll need each other. But of course, we don't realize that oneness because of the intensity of our experience here in the physical reality. So he's saying, Mom, we all need each other. And just like just like you are coming to learn and experience, in the similar way, all of the souls are coming here to learn and experience through each other, with each other. And they also have their own subjective soul plans. Now, because everybody has a soul plan, these soul plans should merge and interconnect and interrelate in a way there is balance in universe. There is no chaos. He's saying universe has always been maintained on the principle of balance. That's why this whole huge energy is able to balance itself, because there is balance in small constituents and the realities also. He's saying that's why your soul plan should coordinate and interconnect with other people's other souls going down. And
Right.
also, there is this limited time, so you need to be sure what you're going to learn in this lifetime. He's saying that said, I'm not saying the physical reality is so much limited. Of course, you will invite many experiences and many events which you didn't plan, and you
True.
will you will of course learn and experience from them also. But your agenda for that particular lifetime is what will actually determine your growth in
Well,
real terms. He's saying
why,
because
but during these string of incarnations, why would someone want to come in as a bird? I mean, is there, if the whole reason is to, for spiritual growth, why come in as a bird?
he's
For
saying, Mom,
example.
spiritual growth is coming through the experience. Being a bird is very different from being limited in a human body.
So you
So
can still grow, spiritual growth. Okay. All right.
that
Go on.
experience
Sorry.
will also that experience will also contribute to the energy of the soul, because he's saying I as a soul might be able to fly, but I'm not flying in a body.
Okay.
I think that experience is different, and hence their lifetimes are limited, but the experience is limited, and but yet it still contributes to the expansion of the energy, to the learning and the experiencing part of the soul. He's saying everything contributes to it. No lifetime is ever a waste. Even if you are not going as per your soul plan, you are still learning and experiencing.
Right.
Yes, the growth might come in a much more difficult way because it was not planned in that way. And
Right.
he's saying by understanding what we have chosen, we are only trying to minimize the suffering of every incarnation. That's all. And he's saying, why should we suffer? Why should we go through pain when we can learn by whatever soul plan we chose? And he's saying, Mom, we don't choose such difficult soul plans. We choose what we are able to go through. And today, so many are suffering because they have gone astray from the soul plan. I'm not saying they are not growing, I'm not saying they are not learning, but
Right.
they are suffering. And I wish to make this experience better for them.
Okay.
And reincarnation, the part of reincarnation, he's saying it's difficult because you take on body, and body has these aspects of old age, disease, death, emotions,
Yeah.
mind. He's saying these are all different and difficult aspects to go through. So
Yeah.
whenever we are taking a reincarnation, our aim should be to make it as easier as possible, so that our next incarnation is easier than that, and the entire experience does not affect the soul so much that it needs so much healing even after leaving the body.
Well, but no pain, no gain, right?
Yeah,
I thought we.
exactly. Yes, of course. He's saying, but mom, how much pain did you choose and how much you are going through? That's such a huge difference.
Well, yeah, really. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so that's the gap he wants to fill. That's the gap.
Oh, I see.
That's why he's saying that learn to recognize what you chose in your soul plan, so that you make right choices, so that you fulfill your purpose, and all the lifetimes, subsequent lifetimes, are getting easier and easier. It's about enhancing your reality over here and not going through suffering which was not needed in first place.
Okay.
So he's saying overall it goes there, and the first lifetime you plan it because we have limited time and we have a huge agenda. And of course, our soul plans are connected to many other soul plans. When you have planned it, the required growth happens and we don't go astray and we don't end up suffering more, because let's accept in the physical world, most of it is coming through the suffering. It's coming through pain. Otherwise, we don't learn because of our heavier consciousness. So he's saying, now, why do we need to balance karma? He's saying, because we need other souls to give us those experiences, to make us learn. And we also need to give and return, have a balanced exchange of experiences. What will happen is, mom, if there is no theory of karma involved or no balancing involved, he's saying, I am again saying balancing of lessons.
Right.
And he's saying, what will happen is few intelligent souls will just take in experiences as much as experiences. Few intelligent, selfish souls will, in every reincarnation, will take experiences from you, and they will learn and grow. They will grow on their journey, and finally they will reach a point where they will not need to reincarnate in the body. They might have achieved that level of growth where they can again work in the advanced levels of the spirit world and not take in the body. And few souls, benevolent kind souls, they will only be giving those experiences, and they will not receive those experiences, and they will be stuck in the journey even though they were the ones providing the help.
Right.
So this help, for it to be a balanced and just system, and for this help to be balanced, you have to give back as much help as you have received. So if you
Okay.
have received experiences, and he's saying it need not be with a specific soul itself, that if one soul has helped you, you need not return it to, it's about the universe. You have received help from the universe, as much help has to go back into the universe, even if the souls are different, even if the combinations are different. I think
Okay.
that's what we call karmic balancing. So he's saying, imagine this scenario where if it's Sweetie, she's selfish and she's learned and she's received those experiences, and she reaches a level where she need not come back. But then she has not given as much help. And when all the souls who are reincarnating, it's all about learning and experiencing, there will be an imbalance in the system wherein the selfish souls will take as much help and just grow and leave.
Yeah.
And the souls who are actually willing to help are just left behind because they are not receiving as much help in exchange. That's why the theory of karma, where a selfish soul like Sweetie is just pulling my leg. You see, the selfish soul like Sweetie has to come back, make sure she has given as much experiences, as much learning, as much she has received. And until she has not balanced that account, she'll not be able to escape the reincarnation wheel.
Oh, I see. So there's the motivation. All right. Got it.
I'm saying, of course, experiences here are not so good. So he's saying the relationships which give you most trouble, most problems are only helping you, are only offering you experiences so that your soul learns and grow. And he's saying, when I say experiences, of course, there are good experiences also, because to experience good, lighter feelings is different in the body than the way you experience it as a soul. So even good experiences are counted. It does not mean it's only pain and problems. But this is what we call karmic balancing. Balancing of the help. And the help is exchanging experiencing. And he's saying, Mom, like I've explained in previous lectures, you learn and experience through two things in this human life. One is the situations that the life present to you, the way you have chosen your soul plan, because the
Right.
situations will come according to your soul plan only. And one is through relationships where other souls are concerned. So he's saying, I just want to repeat that karma is only involved with other souls, because there is balance of help that needs to be achieved, not with situations, because situations, it's an objective thing which life is offering you according
But
to your soul.
relationships.
Yeah, so karma is always in relationship, because it's just balancing of that exchange. If you
Right.
have received help, you have to give back help. So he's saying, but people, connote karma in such a negative way, that if you have done bad to someone, that person will do bad to you in next reincarnation. He's
Yeah,
saying
that's
that's
the general
not,
thought of
that's the
people.
general
Yeah.
thought. He's saying that's not like that. The
Mm-mm.
soul has helped you grow by giving you XYZ experience, positive or negative, and that's what you need to return.
Right.
And that kind of experience will totally depend on what your soul wishes to learn in that particular reincarnation. It's your choice. You have entered a spiritual contract with that other soul.
Yeah.
There's no negative connotation, there is no lifetime lost, there is no need of suffering and pain. It can be achieved in a much more balanced way. Yes, pain is needed, but until a certain extent, and we definitely, we cross this extent and we make our lives more difficult. And his whole agenda of explaining all these theories and these concepts are just to help us improve our reality, improve our experience here.
So our free will and the free will of others is sort of something that very often puts the karmic balance out of balance, right? And can you talk about free will and how that, I mean, that also is the thing that can lead us off of our spiritual path, either our own free will or the free will of other souls.
Yeah. He's saying, Mom, you're right. Free will is so much misunderstood, especially in terms of our physical reality. He's saying, like I've explained before, your soul plan is your destiny. That's why we say we write our own destiny.
Right.
Now, this your free will is limited to this destiny. He's saying if you had free will, if you have all the free will, it will be chaos. It will be chaos because people will do anything that they want to do. And so many times, even if we wish to, you have seen, we are not able to. There are limitations, there are restrictions, not
Right.
only outside of ourselves, but inside of ourselves also. And that's what the soul plan is doing. It's limiting and restricting us because that's the scope of our experience. So he's saying, I will just explain right and wrong use of free will so that there's better understanding and there's no misconception about it. So he's saying, if in my soul plan, I have chosen four options for my career, maybe I'll be a doctor, or I'll be a mathematician, or I'll be an engineer, or I'll be a designer, for example. Please explain this to me quite well. So that's why it's flowing so fast. That's your so your destiny is limited to these four options.
Okay.
And these four options are chosen in the soul plan. That's why we say the soul plan is nothing but our destiny. Where does our free will come into the picture is my free will is what I choose out of these four options.
Okay.
When I'm in the body, of course, I have forgotten. I don't know what four options I have chosen. But if the first option comes to me and if I am influenced by conditionings, by my upbringing, by fears or prejudices, I might say, "Oh, I'll not be able to do justice to this profession. I don't want to become a doctor. It's such a difficult life. I'll not be able to do all the academics connected to it, and I might let it go." He's saying again here, I'm not saying I am using my free will in the wrong way until I have exhausted all the four options. I'm still using my free will in the right way. If I come to the second option, I might choose it, I might not choose it. But once all the four options are exhausted and I don't even choose the last fourth option which my soul gave to myself, I am misusing my free will. And he's saying the fifth option will definitely come. There's not an issue, will definitely come because there is free will involved in this physical world. But it won't work for me.
Oh, yeah.
It won't work for me, and life for me will be a struggle. Whereas these four options, I would have moved along on my soul path, and all the choices which were meant to come through these options would have come naturally to me, and my choices would have become easier. So, he's showing me that this is the path, this is the soul plan path.
Okay.
Okay. So, if the four options are coming and I'm choosing one, I'm still walking that path. But all the four options have gone and I'm choosing something else, I'm walking on this path. He's saying, but mom, everything is on this path. This is where I chose. After this option, this will come. This is where the signposts will come. This is where I have planned my entire journey. But I'm
Right.
walking something else, walking another path. And on that path, I have chosen nothing. That's when nothing will come to you. Nothing will work for you. Your relationship won't work because the relationship was here. Your career won't work because the career was here. You
Yeah.
won't have money because the money was supposed to come through career. You won't have peace and love because it was supposed to come to the relationship, which was in this path.
All right. So two scenarios. Say you wanted to be a mathematician, and well, you're in college studying, and your parents die, funds dry up, and so you're not able to become a mathematician. You become a bartender, and then you don't like that, so you become a Walmart greeter. Or the other scenario is, and you are in school, you become lazy, you get involved with the wrong people, you don't study, you get expelled, and you don't become a mathematician by your own free will.
He's saying, Mom, those situations won't arise if I have chosen to be a doctor or mathematician. I have chosen my situations well. I have not chosen my parents to leave or any untoward situation to come. So
Oh, okay.
that won't happen. Here, me being lazy is I'm using my free will wrongly. I'm not listening to my soul. I'm not catering to the potential that I have. And I'm being influenced by the factors around me, the material factors and
Yeah.
influences.
Right.
That's the wrong use of free will. And he's
Right.
saying, Mom, when you're doing that, I have seen many questions in my on my blog that how do we know that we are following the soul plan or not. Like you say that even if it's a negative thing, if you have chosen in your soul plan, it's good. But how do we know this negative thing was planned in the soul plan? Your
Yeah.
soul will tell you this is right for you. You will be sure of doing it, even if it's wrong by any definition or any terms of people around you or the world around you. And he's saying, Mom, your soul will always gnaw at you. There's gnawing will always be there. I didn't do
Yeah.
that. I'm not doing this. I'm not. So even if I'm being lazy, I am not paying attention to my studies, it will keep pressurizing me, it will keep troubling me. I just have to listen to my soul. But again, if it's chosen in my soul, then I'll be lazy, I'll fall into gluttony, or any negative heavy material emotion, I'll just flow with it. My soul won't stop me. My soul, that gnawing feeling won't be there. And he's saying,
Okay.
Mom, it's always there. He's saying some people will argue, oh, we don't get that feeling. It's always there. You're not connected to your inner self to feel that feeling. Because
I
the
got
soul
you.
plan, the soul plan is designed by your soul, and your soul is having this experience. How will your soul not resist what it didn't choose? It has to. And it will communicate it to you if only you're connected to yourself. If only
So,
you're in tune and sync with your inner self.
so how can you tell if your karma is not in balance?
He again, a very interesting question. He's saying this should have been asked in the last part of the series, but I'll give you a hint. He's saying the day, Mom, your relationships don't trigger you, the day you are at peace
Oh,
with yourself,
okay. All
the
right.
day there is balance in your life, the day you feel fulfilled and understand who you are, what you are meant to do, you are in touch with your soul essence, and there are not so many issues. Your life seems balanced, your emotions are balanced, your relationships are balanced. You know your lessons are learned and karma is balanced. It's as simple.
Oh, okay. That is simple. Okay,
And
what about signs from the other side that you're on track? Like I hear the 11:11 phenomena. And
yeah,
before
I
you,
think
Eric, before you even died, I would always look at the when I went to bed. It's 11:11 always on my bedside clock. Isn't that a sign that hey, you're on the right track? Can we get some guidance from the other side like that you're on the right, you're on your soul path?
see, Mom, always these lectures, what I'm doing, it's guidance from the other world.
Yeah.
These are one of them. So there's a lot of help pouring from the spirit world. And where the number prompts are concerned, he's saying there's a lot of information and a lot of miscommunication on the internet, on the websites, that this particular number means this particular number
Yeah.
means.
Yeah.
It's nothing like that. It's just to catch your attention, and this is done by your spirit guides, by your master guides, by angels. And it does not specifically means good or bad. It is
Okay.
just, they are just trying to catch your attention that something important is going to happen or is
Oh,
happening, and you need to pay attention, you need to be more aware, you need to be more connected to yourself to understand what is it.
okay.
And he's saying, even if you don't understand what they're trying to say, just raising your awareness will help you face it in a much better way. And that raising of awareness helps you connect with yourself better. So the prompts always pull you back that you are a soul, because it's such a coincidence, right? It's such
Right.
a it's such a it's such a coincidental prompt that makes you feel that you're not alone in this universe. There are energies
That's
which you
true.
see. You think that connects you back to your spirit, and that's where the awareness rises. So even though you don't know specifically what they're trying to communicate, you still get in touch with your own soul, and that helps.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
He's saying in future series, in future parts, he'll be diving deep into balancing of karma in real subjective terms. So he's saying, I have said that lessons need to be exchanged, but while you're living this physical reality, while you're living these relationships, what balancing means, how it is actually done consciously. He's saying, Mom, unconsciously, everybody is doing that.
Yeah.
Everybody goes through pain, everybody learns, everybody experiences, even though they might not know that that's what they are doing here, but
Yeah.
everybody is doing that, right? Everybody learns, everybody goes through painful events, everybody has relationship issues, and they keep learning, they keep getting better and better. What I'm trying to do is put some more conscious realization into this entire experience, so that it's enjoyable, it's more conscious, and the growth is much more assimilated in the soul.
So, do you have any workshops together coming up
I
here?
we are holding a workshop every month now. The group that I
Oh,
started,
good.
yeah, we are doing it every month. It's so much fun.
That's great. And they can find out about it by going to channelingspiritworld.com, right?
Yes.
All right. Anything else you want to talk about? You want to, well, we're going to talk about part 2 of balancing karma next time, correct?
Yes.
Good. So exciting. All right, you guys, again, check out Renuka at channelingspiritworld.com and check out Erik's blog, channelingeric.com. And if you want some scalar energy healing, atlantiscalar.com. So please hit the subscribe button and the notification bell and share. We are one and we need to share with everyone. All right. Thank you. Bye. I love you, Erik. Love you, Renuka. Love you guys.
Bye.
Bye-bye.